Millions of Americans are watching closely today as new talk of $2,000 checks gains momentum once again, and this time the message is coming directly from former President Donald J. Trump. For those who have been struggling to keep up with rising prices, medical bills, and the daily cost of living, especially seniors who rely on Social Security to survive each month, this update has captured national attention. The idea of checks arriving before the end of 2025, possibly even before Christmas, has created a wave of anticipation, confusion, and hope. The discussion around these payments has shifted rapidly, and the latest details reveal where things actually stand, who could qualify, and what this could mean for older Americans who are facing some of the toughest financial challenges of their lives. Before going deeper into the new information, I want to welcome you to Truth Lens, where we break down complex political and economic updates into clear, understandable explanations. This channel focuses on the issues that matter most to everyday Americans, especially seniors, low-income households, and those living on fixed benefits. Many seniors across America are trying to make ends meet on Social Security checks that haven't kept pace with inflation. With rent, groceries, and healthcare costs rising year after year, an extra $2,000 could mean catching up on overdue bills, refilling prescriptions that have been skipped, or simply experiencing a little relief during the holidays. Truth Lens is here to help you understand exactly what these announcements mean for your household, your budget, and your future. President Donald Trump recently stated publicly that he wants to issue what he calls a tariff dividend of $2,000 to middle and lower-income Americans. According to him, the funds would come from tariff revenue, money collected from taxes placed on imported goods, rather than from taxpayer dollars. Trump emphasized that wealthy Americans would not receive the payment and described the rest of the revenue as something he plans to put toward lowering the national debt. The way he explained it, the government is generating billions and trillions from reciprocal tariffs placed on foreign countries, and part of this collection could be distributed directly to citizens, while the remainder would target the nation's $37 trillion debt. He has repeatedly pointed to these tariffs as proof that the country is in a stronger financial position than critics claim. Shortly after discussing the plan, Trump wrote on Truth Social that people who are against tariffs are fools, adding that the U.S. is now the richest and most respected country in the world, with strong markets, high 401k balances, and major investments coming into the country. He stated again that a dividend of at least $2,000 per person would be paid to Americans who qualify, excluding high-income people. For millions of seniors living on fixed Social Security benefits, this statement created a powerful moment. Many older Americans, especially those living on $900, $1,200, or even $1,600 a month, wrote online saying that a $2,000 check would mean being able to buy groceries without fear, pay the electric bill on time, or catch up on medical expenses they've been putting off. Although tariff revenue is not considered a traditional funding source for stimulus payments, the idea has sparked interest from retirees who say they haven't felt financially secure in years. Analysts and policy experts have interpreted Trump's remark to mean that individuals earning $100,000 or less could be eligible, meaning many retirees, SSI recipients, Ssdi beneficiaries, and low-income seniors could qualify even if they have little or no taxable income. Some older Americans receiving only Social Security have been asking whether they would be included, especially those with an annual income effectively at zero outside of benefits. Based on the way similar proposals have been structured, such as Senator Josh Hawley's earlier American Worker Rebate Act, analysts believe that seniors with low or no income could still be fully eligible. Although that earlier bill proposed only $600, Trump's announcement elevates the amount dramatically, raising hopes among seniors who have been struggling with record prices on essentials. Trump followed his first announcement with another message stating that any money left over after sending the $2,000 payments would be used to pay down national debt. In that post, he once again wrote explicitly that the checks would go to low and middle-income U.S. citizens, a phrase that answers a major eligibility question. According to the wording, anyone who is not a U.S. citizen, including H-1B visa holders, asylum applicants, certain green card categories, and temporary residents, would not qualify. For seniors who have lived in the country their entire lives and now rely on Social Security, this clarification felt reassuring, because many remember previous programs where eligibility rules were unclear. However, while Trump is confident in his proposal, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessino noted that legislation would be required before the payments could be issued. He acknowledged that the administration is exploring paths forward, but explained that Congress would likely have to approve the funding mechanism. Even with that said, he did leave the door open when he told Fox News that there may be scenarios where payments could still go out. That uncertainty has fueled discussions among seniors who say that waiting until mid-2026 or later would be too long. Many are already behind on bills, with some skipping meals or medications just to stay afloat. Several lawmakers are pushing the administration to accelerate the timeline and send these checks before Christmas, highlighting the difficult reality that millions of seniors cannot afford rising housing and grocery costs. The White House also responded publicly when Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt confirmed that the administration is committed to making that happen. Her statement indicated that teams of economic advisors are reviewing all legal options to send the $2,000 checks and will provide updates when available. This confirmation added weight to Trump's statements and sparked a new wave of hope for seniors who say they have been barely surviving under the current cost of living. Many expressed that even a single $2,000 payment would bring breathing room after a year of relentless inflation in medical care, rent, home insurance, and food. In addition to the $2,000 checks, Trump also mentioned another idea: giving Americans cash that could be used to buy their own health insurance. Instead of funding insurance companies directly through subsidies, he suggested redirecting that money to individuals so they could choose their own coverage, or use the funds elsewhere if they prefer. That proposal remains unclear, especially regarding how the funds would be delivered and whether seniors on Medicare would be included or excluded. But the concept has stirred interest among older Americans who feel trapped between high premiums and limited plan options. Seniors on fixed incomes routinely describe Medicare costs as one of their biggest financial burdens, and many say that even a small amount of extra assistance would make a meaningful impact. For seniors who are trying to stretch every dollar, these discussions surrounding $2,000 payments and potential healthcare cash come during a critical moment. The cost of living has been rising faster than Social Security checks for years, and many older Americans are carrying medical debt, overdue rent, and credit card balances they never expected to accumulate. Several seniors have shared stories of having to choose between their medications and their meals, or between paying for heating and paying for basic groceries. These financial pressures are real, and for many, the prospect of a $2,000 payment represents a chance to catch up rather than fall further behind. As the conversation continues and the administration reviews the legal and legislative pathways, seniors across America wait for clearer answers. Whether the payments arrive before Christmas or sometime next year remains uncertain, but what is clear is that millions of retirees, disabled Americans, and low-income households are watching every development closely. For them, this is not a political debate. It is about survival, dignity, and the ability to live without constant stress over basic expenses. As more updates come out, Americans will be listening carefully, especially those who depend on Social Security and who feel the financial squeeze more intensely every year. Thank you for joining me today. This is Truth Lens, and as always, we will continue to follow every update closely so that seniors and struggling households have the information they need. Stay safe, stay aware, and take care of yourselves and your loved ones.